Hello, you beautiful, magical people. I'm Emma, and welcome back to Manifesting Mama Magic. I'm not even going to say that I'm back because I've never really left. I've been posting all the time to X. I do desire to have some kind of routine in my life, especially during these colder months where I'm not so distracted by the outdoors and time spent in nature. I'm not one to live life from a screen, and being a content creator and balancing that narrative in my life has been interesting. It's been enjoyable, but it has been interesting. And I'm still working on that balance, including being completely unmedicated, completely sober October. Here I am being completely sober, completely unmedicated. I'm just playing and toying with how that's showing up in my life and what I build routines around, what I just like to free flow into. And so far, my podcast and my content has been quite free flowing. I just haven't been able to stick to a schedule with it. As much as I love doing it, the scheduling, it throws me back. It almost gives me PTSD from working those 20-hour work days, and I just can't be bothered with it. I've been enjoying the freedom that's been my life lately, and I like that my business is completely soul-led, completely soul-driven, completely intuitive, and I just post as I feel. And with this podcast, I love it so much, and I love sharing it with you. I've had it reflected back to me from my listeners that it's like intimate voice notes between each other, and I have said that in earlier episodes, that's why I love this platform on my voice so much, because that's what it feels like to me. It is an intimacy that I really enjoy sharing with you. I've been monk mode for almost 2 years now and have been alchemizing myself with energy and shadow work and magic and ancient rituals that I incorporate into my everyday living as a single mom of 2 teenagers and a preteen. And life's been lifing. I have been loving where things have been flowing. I have been loving the self-development work I've been doing in myself, and then seeing that reflected into my family and seeing the changes that my kids have just naturally accepted and adapted with, and seeing how far we've come just as a family unit, and having this platform to share those moments with you, those moments of growth, and to inspire other single parents, other women. I love it, and I feel so grateful for this space, and so grateful for you listening to content like this and tapping into my energy and validating me in ways I didn't know I needed to be validated until I started becoming a content creator. I had no idea that I needed to be validated by having a community around me, and how much I've craved that my entire life. And to give that to myself is just so healing. It is so beautiful, and I'm forever grateful. So welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Please send me a message on Instagram if you are a podcast listener to say, hey, I love hearing from you, and I love connecting with my audience so much. It's so good for me as a micro influencer. I've been posting for almost a year and a half without much feedback, and just posting just for the sake of it and just for the feel good vibes of it. And what it does for me, it's almost been like a diary of my spiritual path, and to have feedback from you, and to know that there's people listening, and to hear my podcast playing in stores, my local community. Like it feels surreal. It feels so surreal having people come up to me, recognizing me from my platforms. It's everything I've been manifesting, and I've become quite the master manifester. And I cannot gatekeep. I am physically incapable of holding back truths. And I'm so excited to share this episode with you. So grab a pen, grab some paper, open your note apps, however you do, but you're going to want to write down some truths from this episode, some secrets I'm about to share from ancient ritual magic, using mirrors as the powerful portal that they are. This episode is packed. It is packed. It is coming in heavy, and I am so excited to share the magic with you. So welcome, beautiful goddesses, to the sacred space. We're going to dive deep into the power of reflection, manifestation, and self-love with mirror magic. Entering into the final months of the year, it's time to tap in. It's time to come in clutch. Have you heard of this? I spent a few hours yesterday bed rotting on TikTok, and a theme I kept seeing was this winter this winter arc. Correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's basically the last few months of this year, we are coming in as champions. We're going to channel every ounce of power that we have, and we're giving it our all these last few months of the year. Let me know if you're with me on this. This excited me. Like, we're honing in on our workouts, baddies. We are honing in on our up leveling, on our self-development, on our spirituality. We are perfecting the power that is within. Check out my newest ebook, The Goddess Within. That manual is the catapult that you are craving to guide you and to go hand in hand with your up level. Like, there is just so much energy in the month of October. Even this podcast airing being the day before the new moon, this eclipse season, like, how have you been feeling? How has it been reflecting back to you? Like, it has been so crazy for me, just truths that I'm diving into from years of burying it. Like, the shadow work is real. And I tapped into that real quick on my last episode. It was such a short, sweet episode. I have been feeling under the weather since the whole summer, but it's a purge. It's some kind of energetic purge that I've been going through, and it's been resulting in quite the bodily detox. So I've just been navigating that. I'm coming out of it on top, of course, because that's what we do. We are goddesses. That is our option. We come out on top. So as we come into the final months of the year, this winter arc, it's a time to really show up for yourself, set these new intentions. Use the quieter months. If you're Canadian based like me, hey, use the quieter months to nurture the inner goddess, to nurture yourself, to look back on and reflect on how far you've come and what you still want to accomplish. Today, we're going to explore how mirror magic can be a powerful ally in your self-development and manifestation journey. The power of the mirror has been something that has been so profound in my spiritual journey. I just had to share with you guys. Growing up as an ex-cult kid, super religious, any kind of self-confidence was frowned upon. It was deemed narcissistic. It was deemed vain. It was a sin. It was not good. So we were constantly programmed, especially as women in this cult culture, we were constantly programmed to be humble, to be meek, to, if someone complimented you, to almost turn it away and to almost correct them with some kind of negativity. It was so twisted. So I grew up with this suppression around my confidence, around being confident in, first of all, just as being a woman, and then being confident as being an attractive woman. That was a danger. If you were an attractive woman, that was dangerous. You had to hide yourself. You were not meant to show up. You were not meant to show out. You were not meant to show any attributes of your beauty. I could go into a rant just about the hold that was on the women in that cult, and how that I struggled with confidence after that, obviously. I even struggled with mirrors. I went through a time in my life where I had no mirrors in my home. Or if I was traveling and there was mirrors in a place, I would cover it with like a blanket or a pillowcase. I hated mirrors. I hated looking at my reflection. I hated the thought of a mirror left me completely unsettled. I hated the thought of a mirror being in a room and that mirror just being exposed. It's almost like I subconsciously knew the power that a mirror held without even knowing. So since tapping into my witchy practices and have been working with the mirror, I have been able to change my relationship not only with the mirror, but with myself, because obviously not being able to look into a mirror, it simply reflected the truth that I wasn't able to look within myself. Yes, we get deep on manifesting mama magic. You know how it is. Unless we get deep, we're not going to get anywhere. We need to dive in deep. And you know I am not scared of doing that. I love doing that with you. And I appreciate so much that you're here with me, because the things that we're going to share in this podcast episode, it's not for everybody, sis. Bro, like if I have any masculines listening, it's not for everybody. The stuff that is shared in my podcast is life-changing secrets since ancient times. I believe that what I share in this podcast, it's a portal. After every episode, these podcast episodes have been enchanted. I have been ordained to share with you. This is my dharma. This is my mission on earth. Prior to coming into content, I was not somebody who had a social media presence or even cared to have much of a voice. I was pretty passive in how I lived. I enjoyed just keeping to myself and not sharing things that I found in my life. But the things that I have found in my life, guys, have worked so much and have completely changed the narrative of my life. They completely have changed the trajectory of where I'm going, that I have to share. And I have seen it that I am to share these messages and create a community of people just support me on this journey, and that I can support them. And it's a beautiful community of people who are becoming aware of what life really is and the power that we have and how limitless we actually are. We are our own limitations. Everything is energy, and what we're living in our life is just a reflection of what we have going on the inside. So when I wasn't able to face actually what was happening on my inside by like looking into the mirror and facing the mirror, I was living a life that was almost just, it was basically just one reality. It was exactly as what I was living, where once I incorporated the mirror power into my life, I saw the powerful reflection of magic. The mirror is a portal, and it's a reflection. When you do mirror work, when you do self-love practices in the mirror, that energy that you are displaying into your reflection gets propelled back onto you. So you are putting your power back into yourself using the power of the mirror. Excuse my ADHD brain. I really should take notes and have a layout for my podcast episode, and I will. I will. Once things settle down for me, once I get more into the quieter, colder months, I can really see myself tapping in, being more religious on my routines, on scripting and creating a whole outline. But I love the free movement of my voice, and I love the fluidness that my brand is, and how it can just flow like water, and I can share my thoughts with you as they come. I'm just sitting here on my couch, staring out my window, talking into my microphone, about to change your life. This episode is going to help you connect deeply with that divine feminine energy. And masculines, hey, what's up? If I have you listening, I love you. I love you, boo. I love that you're bringing that masculine energy into this space. And I know that you know that is so important to have the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And during my monk mode, I have been tapping into my feminine energy and the power that is all divine feminine and that inner goddess code. So when I refer to that feminine side of magic, please know I am not excluding my masculines who listen in on this power whatsoever. We all have that balance of masculine and feminine to tap into. So when I'm talking about the feminine energy around this kind of magic, I'm talking about being the receiver of this magic, having that receiving energy towards this magic and towards the power that you carry. It's a perfect synchronicity of both, but this episode is going to focus on the feminine goddess, God energy today, because that is what I just feel called towards sharing. And I know in future episodes, we're going to talk more about the masculine energy because it is just as vital. This feminine energy, though, is what I have been really called towards when I do my mirror practices. I really tap in heavily to the goddess embodiment, the goddess energy, that feminine power that has been, again, suppressed. The voice has been silenced, and it's time the world is aware of the power that is the feminine. So this episode is going to help you connect to that power. The mirror is not just for reflection, but it's a portal to your truest self and your desires. Now, ancient Egyptian practices, they've explored rituals that speak to the core of who you are, and we can tap into those practices today as modern embodiments of those deities from ancient civilizations. Now, if you are still following me here, it's all energy. It's all energetic. There's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as history. There's no such thing as future. It is all present energy. And we can jump into these energy portals any moment we wish, anytime we wish. And the mirror is a powerful portal to do that. So when I'm talking about these practices, even though they're used in like ancient times, they are still so prominent and so active with power to be used today. It is timeless. Magic is timeless. Please know if you want to take any of these practices that I mentioned deeper, check out my ebook, The Goddess Within. I have written step-by-step goddess embodiment, goddess activation practices that you can perform in front of the mirror. You can perform in the shower, within your daily life. Very applicable practices to activate your power. Since the beginning of time, mirrors have been seen as magical tools for thousands and thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians believed that mirrors were not just reflective surfaces, but portals to the soul and other dimensions. They used polished bronze mirrors during sacred rituals and meditations, believing that the mirror would capture the essence of the person gazing into it and project their energy back. And mirrors are so powerful for sending messages back and forth. Now, this can go good and bad. This episode is going to focus on the light of magic, the positive energies of magic. I do not wish to focus on the negative aspects of mirror magic in this episode, but those negative aspects are very real, they're very potent, and they're very powerful. As someone who was cursed through mirror magic and broke that spell using the said mirror magic, I highly recommend that before you use your mirror as a portal, that you give it a nice cleanse. And I recommend that you do this to any mirrors that you have in your home. So there's many ways that you can cleanse mirror energy, and a lot of practitioners will have a preferred method. What I like to do is I like to clean the mirror with some salt water, wipe it down with a little vinegar just to get rid of streaks for the aesthetic. And then I like to take an incense of choice. It's usually dragon's blood. And I do it in a counterclockwise motion around the mirror, nice and quiet. I usually do 3 times. And if anything comes up to me, I will speak into the mirror. Like, I close the portal that this has been open and used for. And then I go clockwise and I say, I now activate this mirror only to be used as my portal for my magic. And there's no rules specifically with this. It's just how you feel led. If you are an experienced practitioner, then you can intuitively dive into how you want to cleanse your mirror. If you feel a little confused on this step, reach out to me, send me a message. I can tap in and to your energy and see what would be the best way for you to clear the mirror's energy. But incense, looking directly into the mirror while the incense is flowing around the mirror, connecting with your eyes in the mirror, speaking directly to your reflection in the mirror. You're just enchanting the mirror with your energy and closing it as a portal to anything that may have been used without your awareness. So I recommend just doing a quick smoke cleanse with all of the mirrors in your home. Some practitioners like to actually even take the mirror off and put the mirror out into moonlight and let a full moon or a new moon cleanse the energy of the mirror. It's whatever you feel right about, whatever you feel called to, that is how you're going to cleanse your mirror. I like to cleanse my mirror before a mirror practice because I know how powerful mirror magic is. I don't want any residue energies from maybe an insecure mirror day or from some self-doubt that I had prior. I don't like to have any of those energies lingering when I'm trying to connect to powerful energy, which is mine. So I like to cleanse the mirror before every mirror practice. I cleanse it with intent. So I'll just take some dragon's blood incense, go around my mirror, speak affirmations into my mirror, thank my mirror for the power of its portal, thank myself for showing up to be an embodiment of that portal, and just set the intention, set the mood. You can put some Hertz music on at a certain frequency for cleansing. You can use incense smoke. You can stand in front of your mirror with a white candle burning. Look into the flame of the candle as you cleanse your mirror. There's so many ways. If you don't even want to reach out to me, have a one-on-one conversation, you can Google it as well. There's so many ways to cleanse your mirror, but I recommend that you do this prior. Egyptian priests and priestesses would stand before mirrors to invoke divine energies, using the mirror to channel their prayers and manifest intentions. In these rituals, mirrors were placed in temples to capture the energy of the gods and goddesses. They believed that mirrors connect them directly to the divine, reflecting back their own godly power. This is an incredible reminder of the power we hold when we do mirror work to amplify our intentions. And like I spoke about earlier, the power that you're invoking into your reflection is being bounced back onto you as the embodiment of all of that power. It is a bounce back. And if you haven't done mirror magic before, I cannot describe to you the power, the invigorating cellular level DNA activation, goddess code, wake up, are you hearing me, kind of power that you can feel bouncing back into your body through mirror work. Using your reflection as a portal, tapping into this ancient wisdom and seeing the mirror not just as a surface, but as a sacred doorway to the universe, a tool for shifting energy and aligning ourselves with our highest vibration. It's a common thing to hear about mirror work, and at least in the spiritual community, and talking into the mirror and saying affirmations into the mirror. Now, I have a pro tip for you with this. When you do your affirmations into the mirror, look at your reflection and look directly into your left eye. The left side of the body is the feminine side, and that is our side for receiving. And when you're speaking these words of affirmation, I am a millionaire, I am a goddess. When you speak these things into your being, speak them directly into the left portal of your body, your eye. It is going to go so deep in your subconscious that is going to be the truth immediately after that statement is spoken. So, speaking about gazing into the mirror, it's not just about seeing your reflection, but it's about truly connecting with your inner being. This isn't for the weak of hearts. This is some serious work that I'm about to share with you. This is only to be done when you are serious, when you are dedicated, when you are living the life, when you have no other option but to be who you want to be. This is when you do this kind of mirror work, when you gaze at yourself. Now, I don't recommend that you do this immediately for a long extended period of time. Do this only for a minute, only 2 minutes. Keep it short the first time you do this, and you're going to gaze into your eyes, into the portal of your soul, into the portal that is your soul. You're going to gaze for 2 minutes. Watch the thoughts that come through. Feel them. Let them be. Don't focus on them. They're just floating through like clouds. All you are putting your energy on is focusing on your eyes. And you're staring at yourself. And you're seeing what comes up for you. You're seeing what comes up for you. After a few minutes have gone by, if you still feel firm in your self-awareness, I challenge you to go a bit deeper. I challenge you to not only stare at your eyes, but to stare in that mirror reflection, to stare at parts of yourself that you don't like. I challenge you to stare at that, for me, the mother belly, the stretch marks, the loose skin. I stared at that part of myself. And I heard all the things I've ever heard said about that part of myself, that I've said about that part of myself. I felt all of the embarrassments and the shame that I held around my womb space and that part of myself. And I just focused my energy on that part. And I felt all of the bad vibes that I've associated with that part of myself. When my mind was a blank space after feeling all of the feels, I allowed myself then to speak life into that part of myself, looking at the reflection of the part that I had detested in the mirror and speak life into that. I thanked my womb space and my stomach for birthing to me 3 healthy, beautiful humans. I thanked my abdominal muscles for giving me a strong core during my yoga practice. I thanked my core for its beautiful posture and the way it carries me like royalty. I spoke love into that womb space in my stomach, and I spoke beauty, and I spoke gratitude of being able to even carry children and to love my body for the way that's supposed to be loved. And I rewrote the programming that I've been brainwashed with of self-loathing and hating myself because of the way my body reacted to a natural occurrence of birth, of childbirth. And I spoke love into my being, staring at it. And you know what happened is that love bounced back onto me. And all of a sudden, the part of myself that I had felt so ashamed about, so self-conscious about, I gave it power and I gave it confidence. And I spoke that into my being, and so I became. And that was from one session of mirror work. So I challenge you to not only gaze at your eyes for a few moments, but to take it a step further and to gaze at the parts of you that are dark, at the parts of you that you don't feel like should be loved. And this is a deep, deep practice of shadow work. And this is magic. It's pure magic, the way that it shifted things in my life by just speaking back to myself and reprogramming narratives that I had taken on for years about myself. Speaking it into the mirror one time evoked change in my life. That being said, gazing deeply, who do you see looking back at you? And who are you becoming? What do you want to see? Use this practice to really take a look. Take note of what you like. Take note of what you don't like. Take note of things that you want to change. And mirror work can be used for manifestation practices, for visualizations. I had looked in the mirror and pictured myself with that BBL body and had like kind of like squinted my eyes until I just see the outline of it. I'm like, oh, there she is. And I've used that. I'm like, no, that like this is the shape that I desire. And every time I look in the mirror after that, guys, I have seen that shape closer and closer to becoming what I have desired. So mirror work is so powerful for manifestation. Look into the mirror and look at yourself as that millionaire, as that billionaire vibe. This is how I stand as a millionaire. Nah, my shoulders would be back a bit more, my chest would be out. This is how I would be, like, this is my body language. If I want to show up as the most dynamic, healthiest, wealthiest version of myself, take note of that. Be your own self-reflection. This practice is powerful for manifestation, self-development, because in this moment, you're embodying the version of yourself that you wish to become. You are visualizing your desires as already fulfilled. You see yourself as that woman, that man, and you allow that energy to be reflected back to you from the mirror. As you look at yourself in the mirror, see visually in your third eye, in your mind's eye, see all that you wish to be. Daydream into the mirror, looking back at yourself, envisioning all those things. This is such a powerful practice. That energy will literally vibrate back out into you and your world will shift. This is where the magic happens. The mirror is not just a reflection of your current self, but it's a gateway to your future self, the version of you who's already manifested all that she desires. This stuff excites me because I find it so funny that this was a thing in my life that held me back for so long, literally being terrified of mirrors, to now being one of my most powerful magic practices that I do daily. Reach out to me on Instagram if you tried any of these practices that I've mentioned. Let me know how you felt, how it worked for you, what you felt. If you felt uncomfortable, like, just talk to me about it because I want to know what other baddies are out here doing mirror work. Now, another potent way to work with the mirror by connecting to that powerful feminine energy is through your yoni. Now, this podcast is kid friendly. I know some of my kids' friends listen to this podcast, so I'm going to tell you to Google yoni because I don't really know what I'm allowed to say on Spotify or on YouTube without getting flagged. But our bodies are full of portals, and the yoni is one of the most powerful portals. So imagine connecting one powerful portal to the other most powerful portal, the magic. Just envision a beam of light coming from your yoni to the mirror, because that is what happens. That is what happens. This is going to be a whole other episode about yoni loving, self-love practices in the mirror, but just to give you a little glimpse into that magic, I highly recommend doing a yoni massage with some beautiful essential oils diluted with coconut oil, like maybe a frankincense and coconut oil. Give your yoni some love in the mirror. Speak affirmations to her. Speak words of love and empowerment and endearment. Tell her how beautiful she is and watch your life change. Watch your life change. That's all I'm going to say about that because I want to get into that for a deeper episode because there's so much power in the yoni and in that portal and connecting to your divine feminine in ways that will change your world, sis. That's all I'm going to say right now about that. These practices I've shared with you are deeply sacred. As you honor yourself, you're reflecting your feminine power, this creative essence back into yourself. The mirror amplifies this energy, creates a powerful feedback loop of energy that is meant to amplify your life. Like, I believe that this was the reason why mirrors were created, was for magical practices. I don't think it had anything to do with vanity at all. Next time when you look in a mirror, imagine it as a portal. Imagine it not only reflecting your beauty and power, but also magnifying it. The energy that you give to yourself in front of the mirror will be returned to you. I promise you, helping you embrace your full feminine power, which will help you embrace the life of your dreams. As corny as it sounds, I've learned to tap into corny. I've learned to embrace corny. Even the name of this podcast, Manifesting Mama Magic, I have learned that corny is where it's at. As you engage in these mirror rituals, now is the time to come up with affirmations that you want to say to yourself. You can do I am statements. I will share on my community page and my YouTube all of the statements for affirmations you can say with the chakras. This is a perfect time to speak them in to the mirror, especially if you're doing the yoni massage. Mirror work is one of the most powerful tools for manifestation. It allows you to visualize yourself as the embodiment of your desires. The key to manifestation is to feel as if your desires are already fulfilled, and mirrors help you do just that. It's a visual. Stand before the mirror, imagine you've already achieved what you desire. How does that feel? How do you carry yourself? What energy are you now going to exude into the day? Your mirror amplifies that energy and reflects it back to you, helping you embody that version of yourself every single time you look into the mirror. And to supercharge this, put crystals around your mirror, put rose quartz, and put clear quartz, and put crystals that you're drawn to around the mirror to amplify the energy that's coming out. Mirrors can also be used to send messages. So let's say you want to send someone love, healing, or even a telepathic message to somebody. You can visualize that person in front of their mirror and speak that message out loud into your mirror as though they're standing before you. The mirror acts as that portal, sending the energy to them energetically. And I've touched on being cursed through a mirror, but I also want to give voice to the fact that you can be encouraged through a mirror. You can send messages of love to someone that you care about. Or I've done this for my children. I've sent self-love messages from my mirror to theirs, that while they're getting ready, they're going to feel so confident and so beautiful in their essence. Enchant your mirrors. So as we move into this new season, new moon energy, the fall season, this quieter time is a perfect time to use mirror work to reflect on yourself. What do you want to change? What have you changed? What do you love about yourself? Who are you? Use this quiet time to reflect on these things. Show up for yourself, goddess. Honor your desires. Reflect on your growth and use the mirror as your sacred tool for deeper self-love, manifestation, and connection with your divine essence. Thank you so much for joining me today in this magical exploration of mirror work. I am so excited to hear how you try these practices and for you to see how they amplify your energy and help you manifest your desires. It's all about self-concept, baby. I advocate for self-love, self-concept. Without that, you really cannot manifest anything. You need to have that as your core message, that you know you're deserving of all that you desire, and it shall be. It shall be. Practice these magical rituals and see how they amplify your energy and help you manifest your desires. And please share with me. I'm so excited to hear from you. Don't forget to check out my virtual book, The Goddess Within, available for download. I'll leave the link in the description below. It's packed with rituals and practices to deepen your connection to your inner goddess. This is your year, sis. This is your year. It's harvest season. It's harvest season. This is our time, and I am so excited to have a community like you. We are that 1% of the population, those special people who know that there is so much more to life and who go out and achieve it with the most ease, with the most happiness, with the most joy, with the most love. And I am so happy to be a reflection of that to you, and I am sending that back to you. And I will see you in the next episode, goddesses. Keep reflecting your magic. Stay enchanted. Universal love.